Most dads eat like crap and wonder why they feel like that. It's something I see all the time with friends and family, but even more so with busy dads who come to us for coaching, since after we assess their diet, what we see is that they're basically eating like unsupervised teenagers, overeating carbs during the day, avoiding veggies and fruit like the plague, and severely undereating protein. All things that lead to energy dips and cravings, which you then try to fix with drinking too much coffee and snacking on the wrong things. So at the end of a long day, you're tired, you're wired, and still undernourished. You therefore keep binge eating at dinner and even afterwards, as the perpetual cycle of fat gain and muscle loss keeps going. By the way, if that hits home, then leave a comment below and share your biggest struggle, and I'll be getting back to you with some quick tips. But also keep watching, since today I'll be sharing with you our top 3 strategies that we use in our coaching program to help busy dads. A better diet will not only help you lose fat and improve body composition, but it will also improve every single aspect of your life. You'll feel better mentally, emotionally, and cognitively. Therefore, you'll also perform better at work. You'll have more energy to exercise, to do all the other things that you love, to be more present with your family. Your sex life will improve. Basically, again, there isn't something that isn't affected by putting better fuel into your body. And although good nutrition is a lot more simple, but also less time-consuming than most people think, for some reason we like to overcomplicate things, go to extremes, vilify entire food categories with different trends going on every decade, when the truth is that people looked great before all this complexity. Now, if there's one thing that has changed and one villain that you have to keep in mind when fixing your diet, that villain is the food industry. The real problem is that we are constantly surrounded with horrible food choices that taste pretty damn good, but are obviously not good for your body. The food industry has the best scientists and marketeers in the world every day trying to figure out how to make their products taste better and look more appealing by combining them with high levels of sugar, fat, and salt with the perfect texture and packaging, because the more you overeat, the deeper their pockets become. That being said though, it is up to you if you want to be mastered by food or if you want to master yourself. Sure, living with a complete lack of self-control might seem easier and more fun, but as Ryan Holiday says in his recent book about self-discipline, that's a siren call that doesn't end up well, since no one experiences more pain than the gluten. Lastly, even if you're a bit younger and you think you've made it fine so far on a crappy diet, keep in mind that the body keeps track, and it's only a matter of time before it starts to fight back with things such as stubborn body fat, high blood pressure, rising cholesterol, blood sugar issues, joint pain, and these are only the start. Now, your biggest weapon in this battle with food is number 1, simplicity. Simple doesn't mean effortless, but it gives you clarity, which is crucial when you're struggling with hunger, building new habits, and the information overload out there. If you just focus on minimizing highly processed foods and you stick to 3 main rules, you'll see that dropping fat becomes so much easier. Add a consistent calisthenics routine on top of that, and carving a lean and strong physique is a matter of time. The following 3 rules are also the same rules that we follow typically with busy dads who want to lose weight in our program, the Dadbod Demolition Project. By the way, if you want to learn more about that and our coaching, if you're a busy dad looking to make a serious change today, there's an application in the top comment below, a video trailer where you can learn more. And by feeling that, I'll be getting back to you as soon as possible with more information. In a nutshell, by front-loading your day mainly with protein-dense foods and some healthy fats, you will have more stable energy levels and you will experience less hunger, since protein is your number 1 ally if you want to lose fat without feeling like you're starving yourself to death. And that is a fact that is plain science, because protein is the most satiating macronutrient. It has the highest thermic effect of all macros, since it uses 20 to 30% of the calories that you get from it just to digest it, compared to only 5 to 10% when it comes to fats and carbs. It is also the most anabolic macronutrient for building and maintaining muscle. This is why men who lose weight on low protein diets end up with a skinny, fat physique, which I imagine is not the look you're going for. And lastly, protein speeds up recovery, which is super important again for the average busy dad who is tired, who is stressed, who is not getting the best sleep and wants to build muscle. Another important benefit of eating this way is that it makes it a lot easier to hit your protein targets. Typically what we see again when we coach busy dads in the beginning after doing our diet assessment is that you're usually eating somewhere between 60 and 70 grams, which is not only very little if you want to get lean without experiencing insane hunger, but it's also very important if you want to make sure that you're not wasting your time with your strength workouts. So what do you eat then during the day? The best foods you can capitalize during your carb fasting window are red meat, poultry, eggs, fish, dairy, veggies, raw nuts, if you can handle those in moderation, while also making sure that you're staying hydrated by drinking enough water. Honestly, all you need to get started is figuring out 2 to 3 choices of these that you enjoy and you can easily prep either in the morning or in bulk in the weekend. And after that, you just put them on rotation, which brings me to our next rule. Research shows that the more variety you have available, the more likely you are to overeat. This phenomenon is known as the buffet effect. It shows how an abundance of choices leads to excessive consumption, even when you're not truly hungry. And the reality is that if you're struggling with weight loss and you need too much variety to stay motivated to eat, you're not really hungry. In other words, if a fine omelet or a properly grilled chicken breast doesn't make you salivate, even if you're having this on repeat half of the week, and yet you are craving other things such as cookies, donuts, Snickers bars, or chips, then you're most likely seeking for comfort or distraction rather than looking for nourishment. So figuring out 2 to 3 high protein options that you can enjoy on rotation during this phase and sticking to them also makes your meal prepping a lot easier. For instance, one common strategy that I like to often use and also recommend to my busy dads is batch cooking most of your protein on Sunday when you have some free time and storing that in Tupperware in the fridge so you can mix it during the week, either with something like veggies during the day or with some extra carbs during dinner. For example, what I'll typically cook on a Sunday lately will be something like 6 to 8 portions of chicken, 10 to 12 big turkey or beef burgers, and maybe another kilo of ground beef. This will cover most of my protein till Friday, and therefore my meal prep during the day doesn't have to take more than 10 minutes. Saving your carbs for the end of the day can allow you some extra flexibility when it comes to having dinner with your family. Plus, pushing your carbs later in the day will also help you take the edge off. It will boost serotonin, which by extension will increase your melatonin levels, which can help you sleep better later on. Still, this doesn't mean that you can eat a mountain of pasta during dinner. You still need to manage your portions and stick to minimally processed and nutrient-dense options, with foods like veggies, healthy carbs, fats, and protein that will stretch your stomach in order to trigger satiety as early as possible. Or as we say in our program, the Dadbod Elimination Project, you have to eat like a grown-up, which is one of my favorite lines on nutrition that I've stolen from one of my oldest mentors, Dan John. Sure, once you reach your goal, you can have more fun and flexibility in your diet, but if you are in the process of changing your body, almost all your meals have to be on point. There's no way around that. If you're still hungry, let's say after dinner an hour later, what I recommend typically is a high protein snack. My favorite option, as you know, being Greek yogurt or skyr with half a scoop of whey protein. After that, just brush your teeth, and call it a night. That was all for today. Again, if you're serious about making a change in your fitness and diet today, check out our coaching for busy dads and fill in the application below. I'll be getting back to you as soon as possible with more information about our coaching. If you have any other questions, leave them below in the comment section. I always do my best to get back to every single one of you. And until next time, keep on training.